Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be discussing about DevSecOps. What is DevSecOps? Why do we need DevSecOps? And how we can implement DevSecOps? To answer these questions, we will be going through the slides and you will get a overview about what DevSecOps is. So first of all, what is DevOps? DevOps is the collaboration and communication between the development and operation team in order to create faster and more efficient softwares. But if we add or if we integrate security in the DevOps pipeline, so it will enhance the security of that particular software and the software will be delivered quickly. So DevSecOps is basically integration of security practices into the development and the operations process. Now, what are the benefits of DevSecOps? So the uh, DevOps moves at a rapid pace, and the speed that they follow to create softwares fast, the traditional security team cannot keep up with that particular speed. So, in order to face this challenge and to integrate security in real time into the DevOps pipeline, DevSecOps came in picture. And DevSecOps made it easier to manage rapid pace of development and large-scale secure deployments. And by embedding the security practices into the development process, organization can identify and fix potential vulnerabilities early on, reducing the risk of a security breach. Now, we will understand DevSecOps with a case study. Let's take an example of this organization XYZNIC, and it's a software development company that specializes in creating custom application for businesses in the finance industry. And the company has been in operation for over 10 years and has a team of 90 developers, 7 security experts, and 15 operation specialists. So they face some challenges while doing the DevOps process. So these were the challenges that the company faced at that time. So slow development process due to the lack of collaboration between the development, security, and operation team. The development process was slow, and security vulnerabilities arised at that time. So lack of integration of resulted in an high number of security vulnerabilities in the application. High cost. High cost means that the security team found issues into the pipeline which were like reported at the end of the DevOps process. So significant amount of money was spent on fixing the security vulnerability and responding to cyber attacks. Now, what was the solution to this? So to overcome these challenges in the XYZ organization, they have integrated the DevSecOps practices into their development process. So they integrated continuous monitoring of their application and infrastructure to reduce the impact of cybersecurity attacks and vulnerabilities. And they did the collaboration and integration part as well. So security consideration and reduce the risk of vulnerabilities. And they have also applied automation. So the automation part reduced the time and effort required for manual tasks such as code review and testing. So in automation, so we add multiple tools in the pipeline, and they throw a report into the dashboard, a vulnerability management dashboard. So this is a automation process which reduce the source code review part, and secrets searching for secrets in the code. So these are the things, these are the steps, manual steps that were reduced at that time in the company. So what was the result of implementing the DevSecOps practice into the organization? So first one was faster development. So the collaboration between the development, security, and operation team reduced the time required for the development process and improved security. So the security was improved of that particular organization. The integration of security consideration into the development process reduce the number of vulnerabilities in the application. How it happened? So in the DevSecOps pipeline, the tools that we integrate, they throw a report into the vulnerability management dashboard where the dev team can, in the real time, can look into the issues and they can patch them. So I'll be giving practical demos as well about how we can create a pipeline. I'll be taking a vulnerable code, I'll be taking a vulnerable application, I'll be creating a pipeline in my local system so you can have an idea how we can create a Jenkins pipeline, how we can integrate SAST tool, SCA tool, secret scanning tool, DAST tool. So we will talk about these tool in detail in further slides, but we can like have a practical demo in another video. So what is SAST? Basically, SAST is static application security testing, and it is used for coding errors and design flaws that could lead to exploitable weaknesses. So SAST tool detect major vulnerabilities, critical vulnerabilities at the very root level. So if a developer catches a very big vulnerability like cross-site scripting at a very root level, so it will take less time and it will cause very less impact in the application, and the developer can fix that issue then and there. So there's an example of a semgrep tool, which is used primarily during the code build and development phase of the SDLC. Now, SCA tools such as OWASP dependency checker. So basically, what SCA tool do? SCA tool scans for the third-party libraries or open source components in the code and report that particular issues of outdated libraries or vulnerable components and throw it to the vulnerability management dashboard. Secret scanning tools. So secret scanning tool are the software program that are designed to scan the code repositories for sensitive information such as passwords, API keys, access tokens, and other credentials. And this is commonly used by the developers and the security professionals to identify potential security vulnerabilities in the code and prevent unauthorized access to sensitive information. So basically, in sometimes the developers and the teams like leave their passwords and API keys, the connection strings, some sensitive informations in the comments in the code. So this is the tool that detects for those particular passwords, API keys, access tokens, and other credentials, and throw the report to the vulnerability management dashboard. Now DAST. DAST is an automated opaque box testing technology, and it like replicates how a hacker would interact with the web application or the API. It tests the application over a network connection and by examining the client side rendering of the application. A very simple example of DAST. So we can use multiple tools like WAPT, then OWASP, ZAP. So it will crawl the application. First, how will our DAST tool work? So it's the dynamic application security testing, and it is the part of the continuous CI/CD pipeline. It's the CD, continuous deployment, and how it works. So the tool crawls the application, go through each and every link, execute the OWASP top 10 test cases that are in the particular tool OWASP app, and it throws it at the end. It throws a report to the dashboard. So what is vulnerability management? I was talking in the like while we were going through the tools, I was talking about the dashboard vulnerability management tool. So what exactly it is? So after each and every stage, the SAST, the SCA, the secret scanning, the DAST. So each tool will throw a report. So developers are not going to look into each and every particular tool and go into each and every tool and see look for its report. It will take too much of time. To reduce that time, we have created a central dashboard which will like a vulnerability management system, and it where you can get all the list of vulnerabilities according to the tool. Let's say you have ran a scan of SAST tool, so you will see the report of that SAST tool into the vulnerability management tool. Let's take an example of the Defect Dojo tool. So Defect Dojo tool is a vulnerability management tool where you can store the report of multiple tools like SAST tool, DAST tool, SCA tool, secret scanning tool, and number of tools. You can throw the report into that particular dashboard so that developer can easily access that reports and can work on that one. So this is how, if you look at the first line, so this is a DevOps pipeline. So it will start, build, artifactory deploy, staging setup, staging deploy, UAT test, production setup, production deploy approval, production deploy end. So this was the old DevOps pipeline. And into the same pipeline, we have integrated the DevSecOps, the security into the DevOps pipeline. So as you can see that we have added dependency check as a SaaS tool, and as you can see that after that we have added as OWASP Zap as a DAST tool into the pipeline, and infrastructure scan we have used the CLIA tool, OpenVAS, and there are multiple tools like for the compliance scan we can use the inspect tool. So this is just for understanding that how a DevSecOps pipeline will look. We'll create our own pipeline, and after this I'll be posting one video at a time about how we can set up Jenkins, how we can set up Defect Dojo, how we can integrate the how we can create a pipeline in Jenkins, how we can integrate the tools, SAST tool, DAST tool, SCA tool, vulnerability management tool, and things like that. So demo content. So after this video, I'll be posting my first video, which is related to the pipeline, how we can set up and configure the Jenkins pipeline, and then the VMT. Then we will deploy the vulnerability management tool, which is Defect Dojo. Then after that, I'll be adding the tools to the Jenkins pipeline. Basically, it's going to be the CI/CD tools and extra settings. Some of the plugins that we are going to use, like Blue Ocean, which you can where you can get the a clear view of your pipeline running. So this is what I'll be doing in my further videos. In case you have any queries you want to ask, you can drop an email with your query on this particular email address, and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. And thank you so much for watching the video, and hope you liked it. Thank you.